Have you ever met someone who's always smiling, always helping everyone around them, yet no one knows they're the ones who are truly exhausted inside? In a small, peaceful village surrounded by green fields, there lived a man like that. His name was Arif. He wasn't rich, nor was he famous, but his heart was so warm that everyone in the village loved him. Whenever someone was in trouble, Arif was always the first to appear, helping find a lost cow, fixing a leaking roof, or sharing his last bowl of rice with the hungry. To everyone, Arif was the heart of the village. But behind that gentle smile was a heart slowly running dry, because he had forgotten the most important thing of all, to love himself. Every day, Arif's morning began with helping others before sunrise. He carried water to the old widow Amina, then repaired his neighbor's broken fence, and worked in the fields until sunset. When he came home, his small house stood silent and empty, the roof leaking, the walls cracked, the floor covered in dust. He looked around and softly whispered, "I'll fix it tomorrow." But that tomorrow never came. Arif believed that living for others was the right thing, that giving was happiness. He never realized that each time he forgot himself, his heart grew weaker. Little by little, until one day, his body could no longer carry the weight of his kindness. One evening, a young boy ran to him, shouting, "Uncle Arif, my father's ox fell into a pit. Please help," without hesitation. Arif rushed over. He pulled and pushed with all his strength until the animal was safe again. Everyone cheered and thanked him. But that night, when the village lights went out, Arif felt dizzy, his legs trembling, his heart pounding. He barely made it home, and collapsed right at his door. 2 days passed. He lay there, weak and waiting, hoping someone would come, maybe Amina, maybe a neighbor, but no one came. Everyone thought Arif must be busy helping someone else. And for the first time in his life, the man who had given everything realized no one knew that he, too, needed love. On the third day, a monk passed through the village. He saw Arif lying weak and pale by his door. The monk gave him water, and asked gently, "My son, why are you here all alone?" Arif smiled faintly and whispered, "I was too busy caring for others, and I forgot to care for myself." The monk looked at him with kind eyes and said, "You cannot light another's lamp if your own flame has gone out. You cannot pour water for others," the monk said gently, "if your own cup is empty." Those words echoed in Arif's heart like a bell. In the quiet morning, he finally understood. True love doesn't begin with giving. It begins with learning to love yourself. The next morning, as the first rays of sunlight slipped through his window, Arif opened his eyes, and for the first time, he didn't feel tired. He felt light, renewed. He stood up, swept the dust from his floor, repaired his broken roof, and planted a few flowers by the door. In the evenings, he sat quietly by the river, watching the sunset paint the water gold. For the first time, Arif felt peace simply by being with himself. Slowly, the villagers began to notice a change. Arif was still kind, still willing to help, but now, he would say, "Let me finish my own work first." And when he smiled, his smile shone brighter than ever before. One day, the old widow Amina came to him and said, "Arif, you've taught us something new. Love isn't about giving everything away. It's about giving from a heart that is full." Arif looked at the setting sun and whispered softly, "To love yourself first isn't selfish, it's the beginning of real love." Sometimes we try so hard to be good that we forget the first person we must be kind to is ourselves. You can't help anyone when your own heart is empty. You can't share love if you've never felt it within. So pause for a moment, breathe, rest to the things that bring peace to your soul. Because this world doesn't need perfect people. It needs hearts that truly know how to love, starting with their own. And if this story touched your heart, share it to remind someone you care about. Loving yourself isn't selfish. It's the most beautiful way to love life.